So you should have just about ready to go. We got one or two more little things to disconnect and get out of our way. One's going to be this little shield that's around the EGR valve. It's going to have two 10 millimeters, one on each side. We want to take this shield out. The wiring harness, the big connector down there that we disconnected, it also has a 10 millimeter that holds it down. We're going to want to remove that one as well. So we're going to take out those three, remove that stuff out of our way, and next we're going to remove the Torx nut screw here, which is plastic. Don't have to worry about it being real screwed in there tight or anything. We're going to remove that. Then there's a special puller that's required that will grab a hold of the groove here on the pulley and pull it out. Now this tool is available at like AutoZone, Pep Boys. I think they'll rent you one or sell you one. It's called a power steering pulley puller, and it'll the two halves are locked in place by the locking ring, and that fits in between the two halves as well and pushes out on the pulley, and will actually pull it off the end of the camshaft. But that is the only special tool, if we can get by without disconnecting that fuel line fitting there, that you're going to need. And we'll approach that one next. Alright, I wanted to show y'all how this tool sets up and goes on there, because it can be kind of aggravating for someone that's never used one. Okay, that's how it is. You'll have these two pieces that will lock on. There's two different sides, but you'll find the side that locks on. When you find that, you insert your tool. You put your two pieces on and lock it all together, holding it with the ring. Put a little tension on it, you're ready to put your tools on it, and it'll pull the pulley right off. Alright, looking good. We got enough room to work with right there on now. So now we're going to move on to the next little item of business, is getting this fuel line here where it curves and comes around the top of this housing. We're not going to be able to pick it up and out of there. So what we're going to have to do is remove this fuel rail and this coolant line. And the way we do that is there's two pop-up clips right here, one there, one here. On the back side of this fuel rail, let's see if I can get a good shot of it, there are these little clips on the back of the injectors. They'll put you a screwdriver in there and just pull them back, they'll pop out. That's what we want to do, is pop out all these injector clips around all the injectors. Then we'll be able to put a screwdriver in lightly up underneath and break the seal. Before we do all that, we're going to want to come over here to the fuel schrader on the fuel line right here, and you can put your rag up underneath it, a towel, shove something up underneath it, hit it while protecting your face, because this could be underneath a lot of pressure, just depends on how long it's been sitting here, and drain that excess fuel pressure off. If you don't, when you pop these off the top of the injectors, you're just going to spill fuel all over the top of the engine. Not very good, seeing that stuff's highly flammable, you know. So that's where we're at right now. We're going to remove this injector line, this cooler line. Like I said, these two clips, back clips on the injectors. Pull it up. Don't worry about it, it's going to be connected here. We're just going to move it around to the side. And there you have it. Fuel line's pulled out. I fished it out, put it over here on the side. All these little O-rings that remain in the tube, you'll want to take a pocket screwdriver, careful not to damage the O-ring, pop it out, put it back up on top, the top ring of the injector. See, this one stayed. It's missing. But take out the other ones and put them onto the injector, because that way you can put them back on. They go into a little groove right there, and sometimes when you pull them out, they just pop off the injector instead of the tube. So you want to put those back. While doing that, it separated itself from the block from me wrestling it around. So looks like I'm ready to try and pull this out the hole. If I have any problems, I'll let you know. Okay, I took the EGR valve off to clear the wiring harness, and I've twisted it just a hair, removing some of the bolts that are holding me up. You know, the bolts that you couldn't remove. And now I'm going to fish that harness around and try and give it a pull. Okay, and after much wiggling and fishing around them bolts that don't come out until you don't want them to come out, that's what it'll be looking like. Water jacket hole, again water jacket hole, and water jacket hole. So this is what it looks like when it's out of the vehicle. This is just the same angle as what you were looking at before I took it off. And what you have here is your 2 bolt holes. These 2 didn't come out until after the pump was coming out. Remember to have them in there. Got them 2, got them 2, and you got these 2. And again, these 2 stay in here. Very tricky, but you're saving a lot of money. Here's our old busted up water pump. And of course, the next step is self-explanatory. You flip it over, and there's your pump. You can get to all the bolts now and replace it. Then put all this back together. This is everything you'll need to put it back together. Your tensioner, your water pump, a lot less wobbly than the other one. You're going to need your block gaskets to hold the housing to the block, the new belt, of course, new thermostat, and this is for the thermostat housing that we took off, and camshaft drive pulley. When we pulled off, of course, you're going to need some antifreeze. Doesn't look like much, but be prepared to pay out the nose. This stuff is expensive.